For more on the devastating news about those 6 hostages in Gaza, let's bring in Ofir Akunis, the Consul General of Israel in New York. Thanks very much for being with us, and it's terrible, the circumstances here. What do you say to the Israeli people who are demanding, negotiations or some kind of an end to this hostage deal?
Thank you for having me. I want to say to you, and first of all to the families of 6 Israelis who murdered in cold blood by Hamas. I want to send them my condolences from here, from New York. The problem is not the Israeli government, and it's not about Israel. It's about Hamas. It's about actually a Nazi organization who killed, who shot them in their heads in cold blood and murdered them. And John, I don't know if you know, this morning nearby Hebron, in the middle of the road between Jerusalem and Hebron, Palestinian terrorist murdered 3 policemen. So we are in a very, very complicated situation, and it's very sad to see these pictures. By the way, I met Yerushalmi family. Here she is, a beautiful family in Tel Aviv. And it's a sad day. It's really a sad day.
Well, it's a very sad day, but I just wonder if you feel that the Israeli people's anger is misdirected. I mean, they're obviously angry at Benjamin Netanyahu, and there are apparently some disagreements in his administration on how to best end this crisis. But Hamas took these hostages, obviously, to use as bargaining chips.
The wrong address. The address is actually in the Gaza tunnels. The address is Yahya Sinwar, and the address is Tehran. It's in Tehran. It's not in Tel Aviv. It's not in Jerusalem. The problem is not in the Israeli cabinet or the Israeli government, and not among the Israelis. I think that I was very clear a lot of times, and I cleared, and we are still doing it. And we are actually negotiating through the Qatarians, through the Americans, through the Egyptians, when we are trying to actually bring them home. And we are saying from here to the Hamas and all the other terror organizations, let them go. Let them go. Those innocent people kidnapped from the Nova Festival, most of them actually kidnapped from the Nova Festival. They just want to dance, and they killed them. They murdered them.
You mentioned Iran, and Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin agrees with you about Iran being the source of the problem. Listen to what he had to say this morning.
Iran is the head of the snake. Iran is the individuals that could actually put pressure on Hamas too by simply not funding them. And so the people at the weakest at the table, unfortunately, is because of the administration, is America. We're the weakest at the table. The 2 strongest individuals at the table, if they chose to be, would be the 2 fighting. That's going to be Hamas and Israel.
Is there any way to pressure Iran into getting these hostages released, the remaining hostages?
Yeah. First of all, we must understand the problem. And the problem, as I said, is the fact that Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen as well, they are all actually Iranian proxies. The head of the snake is in Tehran, in Iran. I think that all the international community must put Iran under pressure. If they will not be under pressure, then they will feel free to do whatever they want, actually to ask from, or to demand from Hezbollah to throw and to attack Israel, and then to deny that they actually used an Iranian missile to kill 12 innocent teenagers and kids in Majd al-Shams 3 weeks ago, or the Iranian missiles from Yemen to the south side, actually to Eilat, to the city of Eilat, and of course the Hamas invasion on October 7th with Iranian weapon. And I think that the international community here in United States, in Europe, in United Kingdom, we must put Iran under pressure and we must put Hamas under pressure and actually say to Hamas, release them. Release them now. We are trying to, as I said, to negotiate through the Americans, the Qataris and the Egyptians, and they are not there. So the problem is not in Jerusalem, it's not in Tel Aviv, it's not the Israeli cabinet, it's Yahya Sinwar that actually learned from Adolf Hitler how to kill people alive. He is the problem and not the state of Israel or the Israeli cabinet.
Our hearts go out to their families who held out such hope for all of these months since October 7th, only to find them murdered in a tunnel in Gaza.
You're right.
Ofir Akunis, the Consul General of Israel here in New York. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.